Iowa's coach Rick Heller is joined by Isaiah Pillar and Adam Mazer. Coach, if you could please start with an opening statement.
I guess I'd say, it wasn't our day. We didn't play very well, but Penn State pitched great. I mean, I think the biggest story of the day is how well Shingledecker pitched against us. He was really tough. 3-pitch mix, pounded both sides of the zone. Had us really fooled most of the day. And then Luensmann did a nice job as well. He kind of teetered at times with his command, but he would get out of it. He'd get to three balls and then fight back. And we were not great offensively. Anytime you strike out 15 times, but you got to tip your hat to those two. They pitched really well. We weren't very efficient on the mound. Too many free bases. Had a bad luck play with Brendan Sure. Adam got the double play ball, and the ball stuck in the web. And then we ended up giving 2 runs that inning, and then have 2 outs in the 5th, and hit a guy, walked the leadoff guy to get to one of the best hitters in the Big Ten, and he 3-2 pitch, he hits a 3-run homer. Even with those things, we were still in the game, but just wasn't our day. Didn't play very well at all today.
We will now take questions for the students. Please raise your hand, and once called upon, state your name and outlet.
Dargan Souther with the Des Moines Register. Adam, I guess just what have maybe been the last 24 hours health-wise, and how much were you kind of fighting through things at various points today with the back?
Yeah, that kind of just flared up this morning. But kind of great medical staff, and they were able to get me going and able to get loose before the game, and just had to battle through it with it being the tournament time. You only get 1 or 2 shots at this, so just got to battle through it.
Jordan McKelvin with the Omaha World Herald. Adam, I know you had that tempo going there early. Can you walk me through your start?
Just try to get ahead early, and then kind of as the game went on, started to fall behind hitters, and you just gotta keep attacking and kind of not let off the gas pedal, and kind of did that during some innings, and that's when we got in trouble.
Kyle Huseman, HawkeyeReport.com. Isaiah, it felt like a lot of hitters today were taking pitches for strikes. I'm just kind of curious your thoughts on the approach at the plate today. Did you feel like you guys weren't aggressive enough?
Yeah. First of all, I think their Penn State's pitching staff did a tremendous job today. I don't think we didn't go in with a game plan that we're gonna, take pitches or anything like that. I think, they're hitting their spots, getting borderline pitches, and I think that kind of affected us a little bit, but that's really not an excuse. We have to adjust. First time through the order, yeah, you can use that, but then you have to, learn the strike zone and make an adjustment, and we didn't do that today. We just have to be better tomorrow.
Was it difficult at times with the way Shingledecker kind of pauses and, can quick pitch and all that? How much did that, kind of make getting the timing down a little more difficult?
Yeah, we knew coming in that that's the kind of pitcher he was, so, we were prepared for that. I don't think that really had much to do with it. I think it was more just, we just weren't very good today, to put it. No other way to put it, really.
Any other questions for the student? Yes.
For either one of you guys, obviously you flush this, you move on. It's one game in the grand scheme of things. What's kind of the message going in the group into tomorrow?
I know for pitching staff, we just gotta keep attacking, and really now we're fighting for our life, and so just gotta go out there, take 1 pitch at a time, and bounce back ready for tomorrow.
Yeah, I think offensively, we really just have to forget today. We know what kind of offense we are. We know we're capable of putting up runs, and I think we all have to go in every single at bat and just be confident and know that we're better than every other pitcher.
Thank you, students. You guys are good to go. We'll now take questions.
Rick, you mentioned it, but I imagine the hit by pitch and the walk that came before the homer is probably what bothers you more than the pitch. Just how did you kind of see that whole sequence unfold there?
Well, it was frustrating knowing Adam was having back spasms before the game, and you're trying to figure out whether you are even going to run him out there 15 minutes before the game and what you're going to do and what the plan is. And obviously we were hoping he could go deep into the game. You didn't want to go to the bullpen game one when we had to. He toughed it out, and like we said earlier, even though he wasn't his best and didn't have his best command, he would have got out of it had that play hadn't happened with Brendan and the ball getting stuck in his glove without a run. Duncan had good stuff. I don't know what happened. It just get 2 quick outs and then boom. It spooked him when he hit the guy and then lost command, and then definitely something our staff didn't want to see was would come up in that situation with a chance to hurt us and us not be able to do a whole lot about it other than pitch to him. And that's what happened, and he made his pay, and that was the ball game today.
I asked Isaiah, I'm just kind of curious about your thoughts on the plate appearances today. I think he took 12 or 13 first pitch strikes.
Well, the issue was when we were down, Luensmann has a tendency to walk guys, and we were hoping to get some free bases from him. And like I said, it was close. 3-0 strikes, come back even in the last inning. 3-0 to sure, comes back and strikes him out. It was kind of like living on the edge. We ended up scoring on a free base. It wasn't like we were taken early though. I mean, Shingledecker was just painting. He was hitting spots and he was throwing changeups first pitch for strikes. I haven't seen the game, so guys were coming to the dugout saying that some of the pitches weren't strikes. And you don't want to be swinging at borderline pitches. Our plan against Shingledecker was hopefully, he tries to get you to chase. He tries to get you to swing at his pitch, and to bring him back over the white part of the plate was what the plan was early in the count. Because if you watch him, in his past outings, he can get a lot of outs, 1-2 pitches on fringy pitches you probably shouldn't swing out with one pitch. It was just kind of a just a bad deal on how it worked, and that's the tip of the hat to him. He was really good. But then later in the game, we were taking a strike once we were down, trying to get some runners going, and it just didn't work out today. But yeah, that was for sure. But Luensmann was giving us some balls early, and you felt like he was capable of giving you more free bases than he did. But when he had to make pitches, he did, and we didn't do anything with it. But we weren't taking 2 strikes, and a lot of times I thought we didn't get our swing off on pitches we should have after we had strike 1. But like I said, I had to go back and watch the video and see where the pitches were too. So see what happened.
What was the biggest difference between elite Adam Mazur and Adam Mazur today?
Well, you could kind of tell today when his back would really start stiffening up. He would miss. He was missing up, and he didn't have the snap on his breaking ball. You could visibly see it. At least we could from the dugout, and we had Butel and Nedved in the bullpen. The first 2 innings, just in case we had to go fast if he couldn't go. And then after we made it through inning 2. We made the decision that from there on we were going to go to Davitt and leave Dylan for his start tomorrow. But it was a lot like when his hip was bothering him. I don't know, you guys seen some of those starts. It just wasn't, the snap wasn't there, and then it would be, and then it was just off a little bit. I thought the first 2 innings were pretty solid, and he looked like himself. And then there were pitches or at bats from then on that he didn't, and it kind of looked like he did when he would struggle with stuff when he got hit in the hip. And but he toughed it out, gave us 5 innings when a lot of guys might not have, and you just wish it would have went a different way, or you caught a break here or there, and we just didn't. You think about it, we didn't hit much. But if we were anywhere else, we would have had 2 home runs. It would have been 5-4. Anthony would have had a home run, and the one that Williams hit the center field was gone anywhere we play. It was crushed. So, we just have to bounce back and be better. Penn State had a great day. They they made pitches when they needed to, and got the big hit from one of the top hitters in the league. So tip your hat, and we'll have to be better tomorrow.
Final question for Coach.
Yeah, Rick, same thing I asked these guys. Obviously, quick turnaround for you guys. You have to flush it and move on. But what's the message to the group heading into tomorrow morning?
Well, when you're when you're in the situation we're in trying to make a regional, we've been in that situation for the last 6 weeks, really. It's just you have to try to win every game. If you don't, they're going to try to use it against you. And so we need to find a way to win some games here. And, I think I know these guys will come out and play hard tomorrow, and, let's see what we can do. That's all we can do. But there's no sense going back and berating anybody or anything like that for what most people are going to see as a really poor performance. We're just going to go back and rally together and need to get a good start and eliminate some free bases off the mound. And, if we do that, we'll be in good shape. I think we'll hit tomorrow, or at least get better at-bats tomorrow than we did today. Sutton wasn't probably the best. Even Penn State, they had a few more hits than us, but other than Wood, there really wasn't a lot of noise from either team offensively, some balls that got through. But I think as you see the weather change tomorrow, you'll see the bats from pretty much everybody probably come alive.
Thank you, Coach.
Yep.